Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at the instruction of things that we're going to put together. We get them in diagrams, we get them in written stuff, and we're going to look at that. So here we are looking at building a Lego car. What do we see here? Well, firstly on this side we can see there's a whole variety of things that we could be building, and on this side we've got some instructions. There's no words, we are just purely looking at these instructions. So if I look over here, there's something with a big red cross around it, which is obviously clearly telling me that is wrong. So don't go and sort the Lego out on the floor, rather sort the Lego out on a table. And these are instructions that even a very little child could understand. And over here we see a second instruction where we have the pile of Lego in the middle and they are dividing it into different colors. Let's move on. So the next instruction, this is all we're given, is the instruction here. And what is the first step that we're looking at? Well, if I look at number 1 over here, what is number 1 showing me? Well, there is 2 fairly big Lego blocks. I could go and count the little knobbles on them to work out which big ones. And I can see by these red arrows over here that I must push the 2 Lego blocks together. Then we have a second one that is looking slightly different, and they've added a few blocks. So again, I could go and look at those blocks, count the little bubbles on the top to see which blocks exactly I'm using. And I've asked a question here, how many blocks are used in number 2? Well, we've got our 2 big ones that we started with. We've got this little one that makes 3, another little one there, 4, another little one there, 5, and one over there, 6. So we've got 6 blocks that is drawn we've put together to start the car. So let's move on to the next instruction. So number 3 has a funny little symbol here, and that little symbol, if we look at this diagram, if we didn't know what the symbol meant, we can see what we built on the first slide, on this previous slide. This block has been flipped over. So obviously this little symbol shows us we must flip it upside down. And once we flipped it upside down, we can put this piece on and this piece on. And if we look at the car in the next piece, there must be wheels attached. So the wheels are then attached. Here's my little symbol again, and I must flip it over, and now I can add the window and I can build a little man for my car. So there I've had some instructions. Are these instructions clear enough? I think they're clear enough. Without any diagram, any notes, we could see what was going on with the diagram. And this was obviously aimed at a little child who would be able to do it. But we could easily work our way through it together. Then let's look at something that's a little bit more complicated, and that is wiring a plug. So what we're going to look at on the next few slides is there are a whole lot of slides, and there's notes and there's diagrams. And each set of notes I have labeled A, B, C, and the diagrams are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And there's a little bit of information that we've been given here. We're not going to go and read through it all, but you could sit and read through it, and through these instructions you would know how to wire a plug. So if a plug needed wiring or the plug broke and you had to replace the plug, you could follow these instructions and be able to put the plug back together again. And you would obviously have to go and read all the instructions, and at the bottom here it tells me what I need. I need a screwdriver, I need a wire stripper, and I need a standing knife. Those are tools you might not have, and you might have to adapt a bit, but you could still follow the instructions. So they tell you here that they're focusing on a 3-pin plug. There it says a 3-pin plug, and there's the plug. I can see what a 3-pin plug looks like, and it's there. So I know I'm just working with the normal standard plug that we find on our machinery that we use on a daily basis. So we're going to now go and look through these, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to read a bit of each of the instructions, and then we'll quickly scroll through and find the diagram that matches the instruction. So A tells me that we have 3-pin plugs are used on electrical items that require an earthage. There are double insulated electrical items that use plugs with 2 pins, but these plugs don't need an earth. So we know a little bit, we're looking for a 3-pin plug, and we are looking that it has some different colors attached to it. So I'm going to now go and look That is showing me a plug, but I can't see the 3 colors attached. That is, but it's not showing me the plug. So I'm going to go to the next slide. And over here, I can see the 3-pin plug that they're talking about. And there's the cable going into the 3-pin plug. And I'm going to work from there. If I go back to B, it says bend the outer insulation back and forth a few times, and then you should see that there's a clean break in the insulation. So I need to find a thing that shows me there's a break in the insulation. So I'm now going to move to the next slide again and look and see. If I look over here, I can see my cable and I can see there's a break in the insulation. So I can know that B goes with 5. I will write B over here. Let's go back over here, and this was A, and I can also go and do it over here. I can say 1 went with this and 5 went with B. So the important thing here is be able to identify the instruction and attach it to a diagram. In the previous little example, we were only working with diagrams. In this example, we are working with instructions and diagrams. We most probably could get by with only reading the instructions here, but it's just handy to have diagrams. And so you will often find things that have instructions will have a diagram and the instruction with it. Right, so if we look at C, it says using a sharp knife, carefully score the surface of the outer insulation. So I'm going to go along here, and over here I can see, here is my sharp knife. It's a special type of knife, and there is my insulation, my cable that has insulation around it. So we can see that this obviously goes with C, and if I pop back to C, I can say 4, the diagram 4 goes with it. Then if I look at D, it says the inner copper core of the wires are now exposed. Twist each one to make sure they do not separate when being inserted into the relevant terminals. So I'm going to look over here. Over here, there's no evidence of these copper cables. If I go look over here, here we are. Here I see these little bits sticking out, and they talk about twisting them together. So I can say, okay, this was D. And if I pop back to where D is, I can write over there that it's diagram 6. So gradually I'm being able to put the diagrams and the notes together. Okay. Right, let's go to the next slide, and here I've got E and F. So E says the terminal at the top of the plug is the earth terminal. Now remember, we spoke about the 3-pin plug. It was a plug with an earth edge. That's what we're referring to. This is the green and yellow wire goes, and the brown wire connects to the live terminal, which is on the right of the plug. The blue wire neutral terminal is on the left of the plug. So if I go and look here, we are right on this slide. I've got a little diagram. They've labeled the earth terminal for me. They've labeled the live and they've labeled the neutral. And so we can see the top one is the earth terminal they were talking about. So obviously 2 and E go together. Right, F says now hold the single wires up to their relevant terminals. You will notice that they're a bit too long. Mark the wires and trim them to the correct length. So now I'm going to look and I'm saying, okay, let's go and see where this goes with this. And if I go to the next, I'm looking for a diagram that is showing the cables going to the right place. And there we are. I see it with 8, and I can group those two together, and I can write here that the diagram 8 goes with F. Right, and then we can go to this slide, and what I've done here is I've actually gone and put it all together so that you can go and check yourself. If you go back and want to do this again, you can go and check, and then you can come and check that did you get the right idea. Right, and then I have some other instructions or directions, and these are basic trampoline skills. So my thing is, I've just given 2 diagrams here, and my question is, can we write instructions for these moves? So looking at the left-hand side one, which is the seat drop, I can look and say, okay, what do I have to do this? Well, I'm just going to jump up, and then I'm going to flop down on my bottom with my legs stretched out, and then I'm going to jump up again. It all looks very easy, and I should be able to do that quite easily. And then the front drop tells me I've got to jump at a bit of an angle, and then I've just got to flop down onto my tummy, and then I'm going to pop up. So that looks easy in those diagrams, but is it really good instructions? Are they really going to work like that? So let's go and look and see. You would have written these instructions down. You would have said, okay, my seat drop, I'm going to stand, I'm going to take a jump, I'm going to flop down onto my bottom with my legs extended out, and then I'm going to pop up again. And for my front drop, you would have had 3 steps again. I'm going to jump up at an angle, I'm going to fall onto my tummy, and then I'm going to jump up to a standing position again. Those are the instructions you would be writing down for these two. Let's see how we did. So with the seat drop, it says land in the sitting position with your legs parallel to the mat. Well, we did say we had to land in the sitting position with our legs out straight. Place your hands on the mat beside you. Well, I didn't notice that. I didn't write that down in my instructions, but obviously that is quite important because the next instruction says push with your hands to return to an upright position. So if you've got a diagram and you've got to write instructions for it, it's very important that you go and look at the diagram very carefully and not just use vague instructions. You must be as clear as you can in those instructions. So it was important that the hands were on the ground and then they were going to use their hands to get back into the upright position. And then let's go and look at our front drop. Start from a low bounce. So we did say that you're going to bounce up and land on the mat in a prone position. We said you're going to land on the mat with your tummy. And then it says keep your head and your arms extended. We didn't say that. I didn't go and look at that little position there. And then, so that was important. That second instruction had some missing. And then push with your arms. So push with your arms. So if your arms aren't in that right position, you can't push with your arms to get back to the right position. And so it's important when you're writing instructions for diagrams that you make sure you're looking at each diagram clearly and writing each instruction as clearly as you can. So we looked first at the diagrams where we put a basic Lego car together, looking just at pictures. And if you go and look at Lego toys in the shop, most of them rely only on pictures because often it's aimed at children who are young or children who can't read properly yet, and you can put the things together with looking with diagrams. The second one, we had some diagrams and instructions, and they are handy when they work together. And sometimes we're just given an instruction without the diagram, which can also work, because these instructions for this basic trampoline, we didn't really need the diagram. If we'd just been given these written instructions, we could have been able to do those things on the trampoline. And so please remember to go back, look through this video as many times as you need until you're sure and comfortable about writing instructions or reading instructions or giving instructions. Thank you.